In Tefillah, Tzedakah, particularly Erev Shabbos, Shabbos of Chol HaMoed, let's call it Chol HaMoed Tisha B'Av, and we certainly pray for the well-being of our soldiers, our hostages, and obviously it would be so beautiful that this Shabbos should already be Shabbos in Geula with Moshiach in Yerushalayim. In the years from 1784 to be precise to the year 1885, there lived in England an individual by the name Sir Moses Chaim Montefiore. He was a British financier, a banker, activist, philanthropist, actually born originally to an Italian Sephardic Jewish family, but they were based in London. Through marriage, he was related to the Rothschild family, and he was a great supporter of Jewish causes in England, where he lived, but particularly a tremendous interest in Eretz Yisrael. In fact, he traveled, I think, 6 times to Eretz Yisrael. And you have to understand, in 1800 to travel to Eretz Yisrael, that was a major undertaking. I think it took about a month and a half. Boat, horse and buggy, train if it ever existed. But he was very committed to it. In fact, it seems like the first time we traveled to Eretz Yisrael was in 1827. And it had a tremendous impact on him in changing his life, and he became a very religious, deeply religious Jew, and continued so in his entire life. He actually lived, as he realized, to a ripe old age of 101 years. Now, why am I talking today about Sir Moses Montefiore, who, by the way, his yahrzeit, he passed away on the English day, the 28th of July in 1885, which corresponds to the 16th day of the month of Av. But why am I talking about him? Because there's a very interesting story told about how he discovered the place of where the Kotel is. It was always known that the Kotel HaMaravi, the Western Wall, or as some call it the Wailing Wall, I guess because this is where we've been wailing at since the destruction of the temple, that this wall always stayed. Shechina b'Ma'ariv. The Shechina always stayed in the west. In fact, this is the closest wall, the outside wall, closest to the holiest of all is the Kodesh HaKadosh. And we always knew that this existed. But in those years, they didn't know where it was. Remember, Jerusalem was destroyed many times. Very densely built, one house on top of the other. So they knew the general area where it's supposed to be, but they couldn't point out which is part of the wall to which they build all kinds of homes and houses, etc. And he was fascinated by it, and he was determined to find out. So story has it, he got archaeologists and city planners, etc., to figure out more or less the place. And he started scouting out the area. And he realized that systematically, a certain place, a heap, a dump of garbage, the local Arabic women would come and dump their garbage over there. And when he inquired about it, one elderly Arabic woman tells him that we have a tradition that the western wall of the temple is right over here. And therefore it's our holy mission to dump all the garbage here. He came up with an ingenious idea. At night, he scattered a few gold, silver coins in the dump. that it should be semi-visible. Morning, the women came. Suddenly they saw gold coins. Oh, they started removing the garbage. And like this, over a short period of time, every night he would have a few coins thrown in there. They would come and clean it up. And in a short period of time, they cleaned the area. And that's where the original parts of the wall was revealed. Later on, in 1967, after the Six-Day War, that's when Israel opened the whole big, the wall, etc., with the whole plaza over there. But Ribono Shel Olam, we buried enough coins. It's time for us to have not just the wall, the outside wall, time to see the inside of the wall, the Beis HaMikdash itself.